Hey there, welcome in. I'm Taylor Wall with Golf Business and the NGCOA. It's the first ever Golf Business Weekly Watch. From time to time, we'll be talking to story makers and industry experts from across the business of golf. First up, it's Indy Thompson. He's the brand new golf course owner at Pine Crest Golf Course in Dallas, Wisconsin at 23 years old. We're gonna hear his story and what gives him a leg up on the competition at such a young age.
Listen, Indy, thanks for joining us and congratulations.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. The last month has been very busy, but very exciting. So, been quite a time in my life. So it's pretty fun.
I bet. So, you must have a deep passion for golf. Why don't you tell us a little bit about your upbringing and what attracted you to the game?
I grew up in a small town in way northern Wisconsin, north of Eau Claire. That's kind of our largest city around. So there's a lot of golf courses in this area, but there are a lot of 9-hole golf courses, which that originally attracted me to golf because you can go out and play a 9-hole round of golf in like an hour. So that was pretty cool there. I didn't have a lot of friends at golf, but I kind of made friends out at my local golf course where I grew up at. And that kind of started to get me involved in golf. I was probably 12 or 13 when I would go out to my local course and play every day. I'm sure the owners really didn't like that much, but I ended up working there, so it ended up being pretty fun and pretty cool. Learned a lot my first few years there, and I just continued that through high school. Played high school golf for Chautauqua Weyerhaeuser, where I grew up at. And then I went to UW Stout for golf enterprise management and business admin. And that was probably the best decision of my life so far, was going there. I learned a lot at that university. I played 2 years of golf there too. And after going to school for 2 years, I just kind of decided that school was a little bit more important than golf. And I really wanted to dig down in school, and it was actually pretty hard. So I just wanted to focus on school a little bit more. And then I did an internship at Big Fish Golf Course in Hayward, Wisconsin, which is a Pete Dye golf course. Very greatly designed golf course. I've never been to a course that's been designed like that, and that kind of upped my love of the game. And then this opportunity came up kind of this fall, and I bought a house a month before I started getting this offer going with the previous owners at Pine Crest. So that probably wasn't the best time to buy a house, but it was local. I'm like 15 minutes away from work now. Before I was like an hour and 15 minutes. So my commuting time is like cut down tremendously. And I'm working for myself, and I just love the local community here.
Who or what specifically inspired you to own a golf course so early in your career?
My old boss at Sioux Creek, Lee Johnson, really kind of inspired me to do that. You know, I worked there from the time I was like 14. I had to have my mom drive me to work like at 6:30 in the morning when I was outside working on the maintenance crew. So up until I was like 16. So I had to have 2 years of her doing that. But I saw what he had to go through and kind of the success that he had and kind of the rewards that he had. And I just felt like that was for me at some point in my life. I did not think it was going to happen this early. This kind of popped up out of the blue for me, but I figured I would just take a chance on it. And both my parents are kind of small business owners too, so kind of want to follow in their footsteps a little bit.
Fantastic. So as any golf course owner will tell you, and I'm sure as you learned at the University of Wisconsin at Stout and that golf management program, it's not always going to be a walk in the park. Can you speak to any challenges you experienced along the way, or perhaps any obstacles that are lying ahead of you up at Pine Crest?
Well, I'll start with the obstacles lying ahead of me. Definitely the staffing. I think it's just, I can't complain about it. Every business owner in this area, and I think every business owner in the United States is going through this right now, is just finding good staff to work, to fill just positions that we need filled. I need bartenders filled, for example. So it's tough to find bartenders right now with the state of the economy, with the pandemic and everything like that. So that's kind of an obstacle that I'm having right now. Obstacles before this, probably my age was a little bit of an obstacle at my previous position. but kind of talked my way through that and really learned on the fly in my old position at Big Fish Golf Course.
Us millennials, we get a bad rap sometimes, but why don't you tell me how you think you plan on using your age to your advantage? What gives you a leg up on the competition?
I'm single, I have no family, so I can kind of devote myself to work a little bit more, and it is a passion of mine. So I wouldn't say it's necessarily work. I would say it's more fun for me, which is kind of cool. So not often do people get to go to their job and have it be fun. And it's like my baby, basically. I treat the course like my baby and everything like that. So definitely with the age factor, I'm able to work more, have less distractions, I guess. Also, I'm going to bring a lot younger crowd there too, along with the crowd that is already there, our main clientele. So, I do have a lot of friends in the area that are my age. So that's kind of nice. I can bring them to the bar and the restaurant. I can bring them out to the golf course. So that's something right there that kind of puts me a leg up against my competition in the area.
Yeah, I feel like you have a pulse, on the golf industry. What do you see happening in our industry right now that excites you or that you're most excited about?
Right now, what excites me the most and what I think all golf courses saw last summer was this trend of golfers never golfing before, who have never golfed, who come out to play. Your golfers who maybe played 5 rounds a year are now playing 10 to 15 to 20. So that's something interesting that I noticed at Big Fish last year, and that's a very tourist-driven golf course too. We don't have a lot of members there. So it'll be interesting to see at Pine Crest, to see how many members are golfing, but to see how many younger people like myself eventually go out and play and how many rounds they are able to get out and play. I think one thing that we have going for us as an industry is that it is outdoors. It's a win-win for everybody there, for the golf course owners such as myself and the patrons going out to enjoy some outdoors time.
I understand you're in the process of joining the Golf Course Owners of Wisconsin, which is an affiliate of the National Golf Course Owners Association. Have you ever been to a golf business conference, or are there any advocacy angles in Wisconsin that interest you specifically?
I have not been to a conference. That's one thing I would like to touch on quick. At Stout, I wish I would have did more clubs, specifically CMAA, other clubs that were offered. That's one thing I would recommend to college students just in general, is to just take some time, join a lot of clubs that are specific to your major or your minor or whatever you're going into. But moving forward, some things that I would like to advocate for or see advocacy for are promoting like a smaller business such as mine. Of course, that's easy to say because there are a lot of, in this area in Wisconsin, there are a lot of privately owned 9 or 18 hole golf courses that, may not be struggling to make it, but need to make it because people love to go out and enjoy the sport. So it's kind of important to me that the NGCOA, especially the Wisconsin chapter, would advocate for that.
Fantastic. Awesome. Well, there you have it. Indy Thompson, the brand new 23-year-old course owner of Pine Crest Golf Course in Dallas, Wisconsin. Indy, thanks so much for joining us, and best of luck up there in Wisconsin.
Thank you. I appreciate it.